talk about the death of Rocket Raccoon. The Church of the Universal Truth has returned. It turned out they had traveled back in time from the end of the universe. They're being led by none other than Jason of Spartax, who is Peter Quill's dad. They go to try and recruit Gamora to help them because she has been guarding Rocket. Why? No one exactly knows. But Rocket has secluded himself and won't talk to any of the other Guardians. All of the Guardians eventually get mind-controlled by the Church of the Universal Truth, all of them except for Heather and Groot. Begging for all the help that they can get to save their friends and save the universe, Rocket shows up saying, hell, what else do I have to lose? Heather wants to read Rocket's mind and find out exactly what's going on with him, and he says, I don't know you nothing. She argues with Rocket and says, our friends are in danger. I need to know what's going on with you and if you're up to doing this in the first place. So he lets her read his mind. He sees how all of this began, how Rocket was originally born on a half-world, how he was there to just help comfort the mental patients. Eventually all of the scientists left and left the inhabitants of half-world in the care of their robots. The robots didn't want to take care of the mental patients anymore. They genetically altered the animals to do it themselves. Rocket doesn't know exactly what they did to him. He assumes it's something like what the Kree did with the Inhumans. But regardless, he doesn't ever want to go back to how he was before. He doesn't miss being soft. He tells Heather that everything changed for him after the Infinity Wars. His head had started pounding, his hair was falling out, whatever they had done to him on Half-World was coming undone. Rocket got all his shit together, and he left. He didn't want to be soft again, and he damn sure didn't want his friends seeing him that way. Groot finishes the story by saying, and he left us all without saying a word, and as Heather apologizes, Rocket says, don't, it's not yours to apologize for. Rocket then tries to move on and figure out their plan going forward, and Groot says, no, we're not done here. As Rocket tries to blow Groot off, he gets really pissed. He wonders how he could call him family, how he could call all of the Guardians family and just leave without saying a word. He tells him, you know, Gamora was there to guard you. She didn't want any of our enemies killing you. She knew what you were doing, but she didn't want you to die at somebody else's hands. Well, she was there to bury you, and Rocket says, listen, I don't want any of this. Rocket says, I didn't want you all to see me like this. After all I've done for this damn galaxy, don't I get to choose that? Don't I get to choose how I'm remembered? Don't I get to choose this part? And Groot just simply tells him, no. He says, you don't just belong to Rocket, and none of us do. We owe it to each other to keep going. You won't be there when you die, but the rest of us will, and that's what family means. Rocket is completely finished with this conversation and says, let's get moving. He reveals the only way he'll be able to fight, which is in this armor that he's created that will also keep him alive. Now, Rocket's health declines so badly that the suit is the only thing that keeps his heart beating. With the help of a young Magus, this ragtag team of Guardians go to take down Jason and the Church. Unfortunately, in the battle, Rocket's suit gets destroyed. The suit is trying to warn Rocket that he's going to die, and he says, well, I guess we better hurry. The remainder of the Guardians continue to fight with the Church. Rocket goes and re-engineers their ship, sending the Church back to their original time in the future where they'll die at the end of the universe. Rocket passes out and then wakes up in a hospital on Half-World. Guardians get told all of his genetic modifications have been healed and that their friend is going to be okay. Rocket thanks all of his friends for sticking with him through all of this. Rocket tells them all to get back to work, but Quill promises that the galaxy can wait.